Good afternoon, Year 8, and welcome to our ASL Assembly on Tuesday the 23rd of June. Hope you're all well and had a fantastic start to the week. We have only got under 4 weeks left now until the end of term, so hopefully you're all motivated and engaged to keep going in those final few weeks that we have left. And just a quick reminder really of our graduation challenges that are set since we've been back from the May half term, because that's something that I want you to keep at the back of your mind and to be your focus for those final 4 weeks. So making sure you're online and on time is really key to make sure you're getting into those lessons and getting all that key information as the learning starts. Also making sure you try your best by gaining at least 200 points a week, and lots of you are already doing that, which we'll celebrate later on in our assembly. And then also hopefully there's lots of you who've been researching and getting prepared for those option subjects, which hopefully is something that you're interested in, so you should be really engaged and motivated to see what's to come in Year 9. And then making sure you're revisiting that content to help you retain that knowledge that you already have. And that is really key for lots of you, especially if you're not managing to get online for every lesson. You need to make sure that you're using your paper-based work and your knowledge organisers to keep you in contact with your lessons and what is going on. So please make sure you are continually revisiting content throughout your time at home. So I'm going to start my assembly today with some Twitter proud moments. Our first one there is from Joanne, who was one of our top 10 students who we sent a little thank you to from Aldersley staff, and Miss Pritchard wrote a note there, so well done to you, Joanne, thoroughly deserved. Mr. Becky was really pleased with Nayana's work in her geography lessons, and that's been a fantastic project to see you all talking about your local area and creating a study on it. We had some fantastic examples last week, and here's another one, so well done to you, Nayana. And then well done to Mr. Edwards' DT classes, who are using their power tickets to retrieve information and knowledge that they've learnt. And a big shout out to Katie, Tappy and Millie, who've produced some awesome work. However, that is the only 3 tweets that I had retweeted last week. So where have you all been hiding? Now I know there's been some fantastic work going on in lessons, been some great discussions in your live lessons and lots of fantastic questions. However, there was not that many tweets last week or that many staff emailing me awarding points for Year 8. So that is something that we need to make sure we change, because I know you're a fantastic year group and I want these final 4 weeks to be really positive, and I want to make sure we finish on a high note. So next week, I want you to make sure I've got lots of different things that I can post here. It doesn't have to be on Twitter. It can also be staff emailing me saying about how amazing some of you are doing. It can be staff tagging me in Teams to show me some of the fantastic work you are doing. And that has happened a little bit last week, but it was definitely very quiet last week for Year 8. So I really want you to focus in your lessons, really impress your teachers and make sure they're shouting about how amazing you're doing. Big well done to all these students here. These are the students who have achieved 200 points or more. Slightly less than last week. However, there's still lots and lots of names on here of all those students who've been noticed by their teachers. And for those of you who've just got your 200 points, then make sure next week that you are pushing yourself to achieve more and set yourself a realistic target. So if you're on 200 points, why not try and double that to 400? If you're at the other end and you're already on 950, why not push to get another 50 more points to get you to that 1,000 mark? So please make sure you are really pushing to try and get in the top half of the top 10 students or on this board. If your name isn't on this screen now, you need to be asking yourself why, because across the week you should be getting yourself at least 200 points to show myself and the Year 7 team that you are working hard in your lessons. So last week I said to you a big focus for me in this final part of the half term is going to be your attendance, and I've been tracking it closely. I've been looking at it daily to see how the figures change. And last week I spoke to you about Terrible Tuesdays and that dip in the week on the second day where we have lots of you not engaging and not logging on to all of your lessons. Last week we had an improvement. So as you can see, the second circle there is an improvement on the Tuesday. So your attendance went up compared to the week before where we had a big dip. But then unfortunately, we had a real big dip on Friday. So I'm not sure if you're all enjoying a long weekend and decided to log off on the Thursday. I'm not sure if that's the case. However, there was not that many of you who checked into the Year 8 team. And as you know, I am always telling you to check in there to make sure you're part of the year group, you're getting all those key information and that knowledge, the notices that you need, and that is really important, and that is where I'm taking this attendance figure from. So unfortunately on Friday we did have a real big dip, and it was actually the lowest students amount of you online active in those lessons. And as I've said to you earlier, that is a real shame because you have 4 weeks left to go. In 4 weeks' time, you have 6 weeks off for the summer holidays like you normally would, where you're not online, you're not engaged in learning, and that is your time to relax and recover and get ready for your start in Year 9. So you need to make sure that you are online. A perfect example this week was when I called some students in an English lesson, and all of you went online and managed to complete the work and finish after that phone call from myself. So we need to make sure that you are doing that yourself and you're motivated to get online without having to have that call to give you that urge to get on. And that is something that I want to see throughout the week. And I don't want to see that dip at the end of the week as we get to Friday next week. And I'll put this graph up again. And hopefully I'm going to be singing your praises about how amazing Year 8 have been. So be on time, but most of all, Year 8, be online. Time to celebrate those students who are top of the leaderboard with the most Aldersley points. And well done to Joanne there, thoroughly deserved with 1,910 points, straight to the top, followed by Asan, Ayat, Neve, Gakirat, Katie, Isabel, Millie, Sophie and Sarah. So who is going to be the student who knocks Joanne off the top next week? And hopefully we can try and hit that 2,000 total mark again like we did the week before. So keep pushing yourself to get lots and lots of points. And then looking at the top form points for the week. This week I thought it would be interesting to leave on last week's total, just to prove what I spoke to you about earlier really. We need to get more staff shouting out about Year 8, and overall the last week we had a total point at the top of 13,500, whereas this week we've only got 9,700. So we need to make sure we are getting your teachers to award those points. However, on a really positive note, I am so proud of AT. For the 3rd week in a row, they are still top of the table. So an amazing group effort from you all who are getting lots of points for your form. We've also still got 8D, 8R and 8L who are also in the top 10 across the whole school. So well done Year 8, you are doing yourself proud in terms of that group effort and for your form. So let's make sure every individual is contributing to those total points for next week. And time to celebrate those students of the week. So my student of the week this week is going to someone who I've been really impressed with, who's been working really hard to improve and to make sure that they are attending lessons and engaging in their learning. So my student of the week this week is going to Kieran. So well done to you, who's been trying hard in all of your lessons. Even when you find it hard, you're still working hard. So well done, Kieran, that has been noticed. And then Mr. Rose's student of the week is also a student who is always online, engaging in her lessons and trying her best across all subject areas. And I would definitely agree with Mr. Rose's choice this week. He has gone with Isabel T. So well done to you, Isabel. You are student of the week from Mr. Rose. Those students who've got the school value badges this week, always a tough choice for us in the Year 8 team, but this week we've gone with the following students. So for Be Prepared, we have Mia. I've been really impressed with you and your home learning and making sure you stay motivated and getting online. So keep it up, Mia. Show Respect is going to Azita. Well done to you. Always very politeful and respectful in all of your lessons. And then the Challenge Yourself badge is going to Connor F. Again, working incredibly hard in all lessons and staying motivated at home with his home learning. So well done to you. Next week, who can challenge themselves to make sure they are getting one of the school value badges? And then before we finish, I just want to talk to you about National School Sports Week. So hopefully lots of you have watched my whole school assembly this morning and are going to take part in lots of the daily challenges that I've set for you all, and I'm sure you will do. But I just wanted to say about how proud I am of you as a year group in terms of your sporting ability and your participation rates, because as I was putting the presentation together for the whole school assembly, there was lots and lots of pictures that I could choose of year 8 students taking part in sport, and that made me really proud. And here are just some of the photos that I've stolen from the whole school assembly, but there was lots more that I could have added on to here as too. Got the girls tag rugby, the mixed boys and girls for the cross country back in year 7. We've got the girls netball team in year 8, and then we've also got the boys football team as well, who've also been successful. But it's something that I want all of you to get involved with. Normally, if we were back in school, we'd be doing lots of different activities, lots of competitions, lots of house competitions, and that's something that I am missing. So we need to try and make sure we can keep that buzz going and make sure we do really shout out about how good sport is and how it can develop you as an individual, and make sure you're doing that physical activity. And I look forward to seeing lots of you taking part in those challenges and showing me what you are doing at home. But I just wanted to give you a mention in our assembly in case you hadn't had the opportunity to watch the assembly this morning. Please make sure you go onto that link and watch my assembly about National School Sports Week. So before we finish and I let you get off to your period 5, I just want to make sure you are doing these basic things that we are talking about each week. So make sure you visit the year group team. The icon there on the left is the icon you're looking for on your teams. Every morning you should be checking into that year group team. You should be seeing what's going on. I'm always putting a comment in there along with Mrs. Treble, and make sure you read the comment that's on there to get you motivated and started and prepared for the day. You should also be visiting the year group team at lunchtime to see what's going on, whether you want to get involved in any discussions or competitions that are happening, or if not, just make sure you check in there before you finish, because that is where I'm getting your attendance from at the moment that I'm talking to you about, and I'd love to see those numbers increasing. Make sure you're achieving those 200 points as a minimum. And also, as I've said to you in my assembly today, let's give your teachers something to shout out about. Give them a reason to tweet, email or post in teams about year 8 as a whole and year 8 as individuals. There is only 24 days to go year 8, and those days are flying by. And by the time you get to the summer and you haven't got to log on to virtual school, you will miss being in that school environment. Lots of you already who I've spoken to on the phone have already said you're missing being actually in school, and that will be the same when we get to the 6 weeks holiday. You will actually miss that interaction that you're having online. So please make sure you are in every lesson, you're online and you're trying your best. Have a lovely afternoon, year 8, and I look forward to seeing how fantastic you are across the week, and I'll speak to you again next week.